Guys, welcome to another episode of FBC, Family by Choice.
Come on.
Where we help families navigate life by having real, transparent conversations, man.
Let's get it.
I think we're ready for another real, transparent conversation.
We are. Listen, it's been a while, but we got a letter, and I want to just jump right into it so we can get this conversation cracking. Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Okay, so it says, Dear Family by Choice, I love my spouse. We're both working hard, raising kids, chasing goals, doing all of the right things. But lately it feels like we're in a silent battle. Who makes more money? Who's the better parent? Who's more tired, more stressed, more important? It's like every little thing turns into a scoreboard, and I didn't even know we were keeping points. We don't argue about it out loud, but I feel it in the way we talk, in the way we compare, in the way one of us gets distant when the other shines a bit too much. And here's the truth. I'm not trying to compete. I just want to feel like we're on the same team again. I want to celebrate each other, not compare. I want to win together. So tell me, how do couples stop measuring against each other and start building together again? Sincerely, tired of playing tug of war with my teammate.
Wow.
That's a lot.
So it sounds like, I would ask first, what changed? Something significant changed in that relationship because she's saying, now this is happening. I want to get back to when. So I'm like, well, what dynamic changed within the household? Maybe they're empty nesters now, or maybe, I don't know, they're sending a kid to college. Something is going on that's triggering this.
And to your point, the change, whatever changed or whatever, something has highlighted maybe the difference.
Highlighted.
Yeah. It seems like, well, I imagine that you said you guys used to kind of be on the same page, so maybe you had a rhythm. And I'm just thinking, as a woman, I know that sometimes as we're building our home and being domestic, sometimes just depending on the relation you have with your husband or your person, sometimes a woman can feel like they don't have the opportunity to really go for their goals. So maybe that could be a thing. Or maybe, I know in my older brother's case, for a moment he came home because my sister-in-law was the one out in forefront. And so, they had to kind of switch places where he became domestic so that she could go out in the workforce. And I think, just sometimes it could be just a thing where, like, I have things I want to do, but I feel like I'm stuck at home. And then that becomes the competition, because now it's just like, one's coming home tired, the other one's like, well, I've been at home and I'm tired.
And I'm tired.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either way, there's that battle. And
So there's a resentment there.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I feel like when I hear jealousy in a marriage, when I hear the word jealousy, the first thing I try to be root driven. So the root of that is fear. Somewhere, somehow, fear came in. So it's like asking yourself, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that, as a man, how you're hardwired is directly connected to your purpose. And as a man, if you're hardwired to be the provider and you're no longer in that position, or if things are coming up that you hadn't planned for that compromise that, fear can come in and make the alliance the enemy.
That's good.
Subconsciously. You not even know it, because out your mouth, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
But in your heart and in your subconscious, it's like, you have become, I got to prove something to you.
Yeah.
So the competition becomes, I got to one-up you so that I can make sure I'm the man.
So I can remain who I am. Who
So
I am is in question.
That's that internal battle.
That part.
That has an external consequence.
That part.
So
And
if
the
I'm
other person
I'm
suffers.
battling internally, my wife, the spouse, gets the brunt end of that.
That part.
And that's a real thing.
That
because
is a real thing.
Because if I'm battling internally and I'm not like you said, connected to purpose, with everything is hardwired, connected to purpose. If I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose, now I'm irritated, frustrated. Now I'm there's a level of fear deep down. That's the root of it. But now she's catching it. Just as far as the simple things, my tone, my presentation, and now she's wondering what's going on, and so now because anything that I plant in my wife's field multiplies, whether that's a flower or a weed,
that part,
and it comes back to me, and now we're in this cycle.
So now questions like "you good" becomes a trigger. Why you keep asking me that? Of course I'm good. Well, I'm trying to appear as if I'm good, but obviously, when you ask me, am I good, I'm not doing a good job of that. So now that triggers me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just, I'm an advocate of therapy.
No, for sure. For sure.
You know.
We're going to preach that.
I think you got to consider, too, like, if that is the case, maybe if the wife or if whoever has to step up, if things have changed or shifted in the family, then maybe the wife is in the work field now.
Yeah.
And maybe she making more, being in a work, like, so that could be a dynamic as well, you know what I mean, to where maybe it was one way and now it's a different way in this season. And so now it's like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
Why do you feel some type of way? I'm helping you.
Right.
We're together. Not just because I came back in the field and now I make more money than you. That type of thing could be a thing too.
Yeah, because it's like, what do I bring to the table now? If we're together, are we balanced together? Like, am I bringing just as much to the table as you are? And it takes it away from understanding it's not me against you, it's us against whatever we're going against.
Right.
But if you're looking at it as if it's us against whatever we're going against, as a man, you want to be able to cover your spouse.
Right.
And if you're having a problem with that, I don't know too many people that can just be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing.
But when she's saying there's a competition factor, so it's not even just I'm trying to one up you. So it's not that I'm just not bringing nothing to the table, but I'm trying to one up you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to. She's saying, okay, we're keeping score now. So, my wife got 10. Let me go get 11. You know what I'm saying?
Now, that sound
you know what I'm saying? My man got 12. Oh, I got to get 20. So, like, in my opinion, I'm just thinking from my perspective, there's not a time where if you're being successful, I don't identify with being jealous of your success. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't identify with that because in my book, if you bringing home the bacon, I'm bringing home the bacon. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think it starts as jealousy.
So, what do you think it starts as?
I think and just being vulnerable. I'm just being totally transparent here. If it's us against the problem, but your repetition or your cadence is more, you got more hits than I do, how I'm wired, I lose value. So it starts with devaluing yourself. It starts with shame. It starts with, inferiority and inadequacy. Because as the man, I'm wired to provide. I'm wired to be the Superman of my home. I want to be the hero of my home. So if your wins are coming in, for a season, it could be like, for a season she was doing it. But if I'm not contributing anything to that, and I'm wired as a man's man, that's hard.
Or what if you are contributing, just what she's contributing looks different from you? Like, I have heard from couples who...
You mean like taking care of the kids?
No, not even just taking care of the kids. Like, I legit got a job. You know what I'm saying? I legit got a job. Maybe I'm working and, she has her own business or she has her own thing. And it's like maybe it's the look of, well, she's successful to management. Now, I work a good job, you know what I'm saying? And I'm consistent, but she's successful to management. You know what I'm saying? That could become a competition where I'm trying to work hard to, and again, we're just kind of discussing this because we're really trying to dissect the thinking. As a man, you're saying that if you weren't bringing your part to the table, that would make you guys feel less significant, or like you weren't, pulling your load.
Provide, protect, be the source of.
Yeah.
So it's be the source of that would make you want to be the competition, because the source is like everything is generating from you. But if your wife is, or if your person is doing a little better than you, then you're not necessarily looked at as the source. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So maybe that could breed the competition if a man's thinking is, I have to be the source of everything. Like everything has to come from me.
So it go back to mindset then. It goes back to how you were raised.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, definitely.
What kind of household you came from. Like if that's really what, like if you feel like I always saw my father take care of the home, or vice versa. I always saw my mother take care of the home. So the mindsets of both people coming together is a thing. You know what I mean? So so that you can kill the competition aspect, because it's like, well, I'm all, all right. Like, I guess, for instance, I always saw my dad cook growing up. You know what I mean?
He's a whole chef.
Like, he's a chef. I didn't really see my mother cook like that. You know what I mean? So I, even in my thinking of, you know what I'm saying, of my husband gonna cook. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that was like my mind, like that wasn't like a foreign thought to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think like it has a lot to do with what you saw modeled, what you grew up with, and then now y'all coming together, and it's like, well, shoot, I always saw my mother with a business, and she always thrived. They both contributed, so that's a thing as well, because that's gonna could breed competition
for sure,
or it can breed help. You know what I mean?
And
like
what she's
teamwork.
mentioning, as far as what it looked like when you were coming up, like literally when I cook for her, like she lights up. Like for real, like if I cook dinner, when I cook dinner, like she loves it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Made this girl a loaded baked potato that was ridiculous.
It was fire, cause he know how to
The
cook.
shrimp, the bacon, the broccoli, the cheese, the sour cream.
Her feet was wiggling.
That was crazy.
Yes.
But I give it to her, like she lit up for real, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's because of how she came up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is, even in that, I think because now that plays a part in love languages.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about how we give love and receive love.
Yeah.
And when those things are absent, they trigger things.
That
You
part.
know what I'm saying? One of her love languages is acts of service, right? So cooking is an act of service.
Yeah.
That's how she saw love. That's how she received love. I mean, I don't know if you give love through that, but
Acts of service?
no, I'm talking about cooking. I'm talking about cooking specifically.
I was about to
I'm talking about
say.
cooking. No.
It's about to be a whole
I'm talking
situation.
about cooking specifically.
I be
not my wife
served the
cook.
mess out of my family.
Like
you
a
do.
mug.
But no, that's like that is her love. No, I wasn't saying that. I was talking about the cooking. But you do cook.
I do, but it be every
See,
man
I
for
clean that thing
himself.
up
I
good,
love
right?
Quick.
See, that's new me, right? You know what I'm saying? But no, that's because that wasn't truly my point.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying, when we understand how we give and receive love, sometimes when those things are lacking,
Yeah,
now
true.
we have triggers, and those triggers can begin showing themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
Which can be competition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't feel valued,
Yeah.
words of affirmation is my love language. So maybe if I'm not getting that, I
Yeah.
got to do more. So if I feel like I got to do more, maybe her standard of doing more is where she is, and you have to supersede that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I got to overshoot what she doing in the house.
Yeah.
So now I feel the
Yeah.
competition there.
That
Yeah.
value is a big thing, man.
value.
But
Self value for sure. I think their whole relationship is. I'm sorry to
no, you good,
to
babe.
take over, but that self value. I think all of who you are kind of pushes from that. Because I was just going through some of the things that she was listing, like they're competing with who makes more money and which one is the better parent, and then you're coming home like, I'm tired. Well, I'm really tired because I'm the one that been out in the field. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like I've been
Like, you
outside
can't
all
possibly
day.
be tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen women who stay at home and they have this challenge where they're having to fight for I'm just as tired as you, if not more.
Right. Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going out, you're doing your job, but I'm doing like 5 jobs here at the house while you're gone. You know what I mean? So again, when you're understanding kind of who you are and you have that value, like, you know what, we're both tired. So how can we, again, she wants to get back to being a teammate. How can we, okay, you get your rest first and then I'll come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I just got in from work, but you know what? I hadn't seen the kids all day. So let me go and deal with them, give you a little break, and then we can swap. You know what I'm saying? But I guess my question to you guys as men, what would it take for you to be able to come in and operate like that? Or what would hinder you from being able to come in with your wife and operate like that? Of course, we're great teammates. Understood. But we ain't always been great teammates.
Heck no. And you get on my nerves to this day sometimes,
Right.
as I you, I'm sure.
Right, definitely.
Imagine that.
Yeah, but I think with this specific situation, I feel like it's all about that self-value, your identity, and how you see yourself. And I feel like if your identity is rooted in the acceptance of your spouse, then the rejection of your spouse will break you.
Yeah. That's good.
So your identity and your self-worth and then your value has to come from, for us, it got to come from God. It's got to be, no, I'm the righteousness of God. I may not, it's not based off my performance. It's based off of who I believe I am in him. So it's, you know, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. It's like, okay, he's in me. He's inside of me. The creator of all is on the inside of me, and I've got to tap into who I am in him more so than what I'm able to produce or not produce in this marriage, because I lean on him to show me how to lead my family, to show me the decisions that I need to make in the intricacies of my comings and goings in my marriage. You know what I'm saying? With my kids, raising kids, our finances, everything. But if it's based off of a transactional thing, what have I done lately, what I've brought to the table lately, I may not show up all the time.
Yeah.
I may be going through a depression and just need a break, or, you know, we've done all this other stuff for the kids, we've done all the stuff for the finances, we've done all the stuff for this, but now I feel neglected sexually. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be something, and as long as we stay on that, I'll call it a rat race, we'll always be trying to keep our heads above water concerning this marriage, and it'll always be in survival mode compared to, no, this is a thriving relationship, if that makes sense. So change what your value is rooted in would be my answer.
Okay.
Yeah. The compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's what is our compass set to? And our compass needs to be set to Christ.
That part.
And then everything else
falls from that.
Falls from there. So now if our compass is set to Christ, now our identity is rooted there. So now that we have an established identity there, we can now look at, okay, we know where our identity lies. Let's look at because we talk about value. Let's look at our family values.
Yeah.
What do we value in our family? What are the things that we're working towards that we need to accomplish? These are the things that we are working towards together to build. She says she wants to build again.
Yeah.
Well, you need to define what you're building.
Right.
And then, so when we define what we're building, now we define how we're building that together.
Yeah.
Now
what role we
these
each
are
of
the
us
roles.
play. Yeah.
These are the roles that we both play in building this together.
That's good.
These are the things we value as we walk this road to building what we're building.
Yeah.
These are when this happened, now here's the thing, like kind of processes and systems even within your marriage.
Yeah.
When this happens, these are the first 3 things we do.
Now that's the
immediately.
thing. That's the thing, because one of the things she also said was that, you know, they don't discuss it out loud. So these are just vibes she's feeling.
Yeah,
so
see,
the
that-
atmosphere is
vibes
shifting,
is
but
assumption.
you're right.
Vibes will
And
get
no
you.
conversation is being had. So that's really good.
We gotta talk.
What
When
you say,
you
vibes
say-
to get you?
Vibes will get you. I'm
It
just
ruin the
this is what I
marriage.
feel.
It will,
Yeah.
We gotta
because
establish
because
these
you
things.
got- you gotta say
you
it.
assessing the vibe from probably triggers traumas,
For sure.
past things in your relationship. You seeing familiar things, which depending on where you're at in your marriage and how well you're growing and communicating and thriving, you can be thrown off by something that you see that is familiar.
Absolutely.
From the past.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
what that mean?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when you did that, then this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
And that
go
keeps
into
you
a
from having a
whole-
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will,
That's
because
real.
you like, I already know what that is.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, wait, what's that? Like, we don't deal with that no more.
Right.
Why you doing that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So to Brian's point,
Wow.
just having that in
That's real.
place, like when you feel off, or when we go X amount of time not talking, not having
Let's
this
come to
type
the
of
table.
conversation, we need to come to the table, or we need to
Gotta
like
check in.
we've got to have like a safe word,
Yeah.
or a, you know what I'm saying?
Pineapples.
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 Yeah.
We've got to have something that causes us to, we both now respond, no matter what space we're in, that we
This
respect.
is what we do.
Right. I think that would be really helpful for you to have the conversation. So Brian said, have a conversation with your family or with your
Communication.
person, so that you guys can establish, well, okay, we need to get some things clear. What are we building? But we're starting from what Anthony said, understanding your value. You've got to understand, where your value is, what your value is placed in,
Rooted
and
in, yeah.
who is your source. You know what I'm saying? Because as we're living, you have to have a source from where all of your power and strength.
And it can't
comes
always
from.
be mama and daddy,
For sure.
because they're going to give you things off of their cookie cutter experience, and that ain't you.
Or their tainted experience. And that
exactly.
was, decades ago.
That was a
So,
different time, a different place, and you're dealing with a whole different person.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
trust has a big part to play in communication too.
It does.
I trust you with my vulnerability. I trust you with my insecurity. I trust you with all of those different things. First, trust God with it, because when you trust God with, like 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your cares, worries, anxieties on him, for he cares for you. Once I fully cast my cares on him without the strings attached, the rubber band, like I cast it, but I still hold on to it a little bit. There's still residue, right? It changes my approach to my wife, where I'm willing to be vulnerable. When I say vulnerable, I mean I'm going to share this with you, even though there still may be a little bit of fear of how you handle what I say.
Yeah.
So you could chump off what I say, and that'll break me.
Yeah.
If my identity, my value isn't rooted in him, and it's rooted in how you respond to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that part is necessary too. So trust plays a big issue, but even before you trust your wife, even before you trust your husband, you got to be able to have that personal one-on-one relationship with God first, because he'll change and mold and shape your responses, your interactions, your communication, even your trust levels with your spouse.
Yeah, so when we're saying, trust God, and, we're redirecting things to God, I think it's important for us to share that the reason why we center things in God is because outside of life's happenings, like, you have to have something or someone or a belief system, a foundation that resets you, because your mind will take you on all these different, thought trails, and, experiences will have you feeling all sorts of ways. But there has to be a belief system, a compass that Brian said, that brings you back to your center. So when we're saying we trust God, or it has to start with God, God is our foundation. He is our center. He is what resets us, and where all of our thought process kind of flows from. So when we get out of alignment, the alignment that we are centering ourselves back to is what we believe through the word of God. So that is our center. So to whoever's watching, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to kind of find your footing, or you feel like you're all over the place, because as you were talking, one of the things that that got my attention is you said you have to be able to trust your spouse, but you have to first trust God. And I'm thinking to the person who's having a hard time, because maybe you've spoken to your spouse and maybe they did not treat what you like. You're having a hard time trusting, because I've brought stuff to you before. So that, and when I'm reading, I'm like, why would you just feel it and not say anything? Well, probably because you don't trust that when I bring it to the table that you're going to hear me. I don't trust that when if I were to bring how I'm feeling to the table about you competing with me, I don't feel like I'm going to be heard. I don't feel like I'm going to be understood.
That's a tough conversation.
It
too.
is.
To be like, I feel like you competing with me.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? You know?
And then you got to know your spouse, because that may not be the way that you want to bring it to them. That might be a trigger.
Right.
As a man, your wife is saying you're competing with me. It's like that's
what are we
demeaning.
even talking about?
That's like demeaning.
Honestly, like
Are you competing with me?
that sounds very in our relationship, that sounds foreign.
Right.
So, but that can sound foreign in anybody's relationship,
Right.
because that's the type of conversation.
So like, how do you have that?
That's a real conversation
Just
that has
get
to
a
be had.
therapist.
Yeah.
Go to therapy and have a third party in there when you say it.
Because you could be dealing with it and not even know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you get used to the normal, kind of like you get used to the scent of your home because you live in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You need a third party to come in and be like, do you notice you do this when she does this? Do you notice she does this when you do that?
So the question would be, how would you get your husband to go to therapy if he doesn't, like, if you're not able to confront him with the truth, and then you're just like, I feel it. So you're like, hey, we need therapy. And he's like, why?
Yeah.
So how do you bring
I
that
just
then?
really feel like you gotta, for real, like, I don't know, when I think of, if I have to address something specifically, I also look at how to address it around about instead of sometimes straight
on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
That comes with knowing your person.
Yeah. How do I address this around about? Well,
Present it right,
let's go on some dates.
Yeah.
Let's spend some time together. Let's open up other conversations
That part.
that will remedy that conversation or escort us into that type of conversation in a more natural way instead of sitting down and say, hey, you competing with me? But that goes back to, hey, let's go sit down. I want to, babe, let's sit down and let's go on this date. And I want to just talk about our family goals. Let's talk about our goals. Yeah. Let's talk about where we're pushing towards and what we need to accomplish and how we can do that together. Because
that
now,
might kill it. That might kill
now I'm
competition
having
right there.
different conversations. Okay, so cool. So you bringing this to the table right now. This is what I'm bringing to the table. How do we make sure that this complements each other and we make sure that we're able to build in the right direction in this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's also releasing the guards. You've disarmed your spouse. By
there it
doing
is.
that.
I like that.
How we disarm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let me disarm all of the stuff that could have happened to you when you were a child, maybe with your sibling, with your uncles, with whoever. Something has you coming at me like the enemy.
Right.
That's so good.
How do
That's
we
so
disarm
good.
the conflict?
She said it. Mocha said it.
Yep.
It sometimes it's not the person, it's how you were raised.
Yep.
The environment you came up in, because those formidable years, those formidable years shaped how you process.
For sure.
How
It
you
built your filter.
engage.
Yeah.
And even with what you guys are saying, when Constance was talking, I'm thinking, I'm guilty of that. Because I always get it on the back end. Holy Spirit be done started dealing with me. But by the time he's dealing with me, I've already reacted the wrong way and then come with the right response later. So that begins to contribute to shutdown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when she said it, I'm like, dang, yeah, because I'm king of, I probably shouldn't have said it that way, or like in the heat of the moment, because we're okay, especially when the kids were there. It's like, okay, the kids come home, you got to make sure they're doing this. Riley gonna be a little sneaky. Trail gonna try and get away with this. Shane gonna be a little lazy. We got to make sure that we run in the household. Then we got to make sure that the bills are good. Then we got to make sure. Then we work together, so we got to make sure everything at work is good. And then when we come home, we still got a little bit of work plus the kids. And then now it's time to go to bed. And all right now.
I gotta make sure I'm good.
Yeah, I had a rough day. But still, we had a rough day. Let's have a rough night.
You crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. And then sometimes, it may not be firing when mine is firing, or mine may not be firing. I'm always firing, but it may be off.
Oh, fire.
But I'm on fire. Even in the heat of an argument, I'm on fire. We want to stop the argument. Fire me up.
This is how we stopped the
This
argument.
how we stop the argument now.
Had that conversation.
Love that fire now. But, you know, if I could be fire driven, like ready for the sexual stuff. Because, like, we could have a whole disagreement, talk about it, be over with. And I'm thinking, all right, so, and she not just be there mentally. And it could be something she did.
Yeah.
Not something I necessarily did. Well, she's trying to lick her wounds. You know what I'm saying? But even in how I responded.
Yeah.
Or not responded, reacted in the heat of the moment.
Right.
Dealing with all of the other variables of the Adams family, the Adams career, the Adams call, giftings, and all that stuff. There's still these trials and tribulations that try to creep up in the nooks and crannies of our day that, I probably said that wrong. Because I'm just trying to, it's like, don't listen to what I say, and that's my thing. Don't listen to how I said it. Did you hear what I said? And her thing is, but how you said it, though. Don't talk to me like that.
It's always going to be how you said
You
it.
feel what I'm saying? But in my head, I'm like, bro, it ain't that big of a deal. Let's just get it done. So, you know, I'm thinking about, hey, so when we lay down at night, can we do this before 9:30? Because my sleep is important too. Right? Is it just me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not running in this burning building.
I'm just saying. We got all this life. We're working out. The workout goes out the door if I don't get 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not getting sleep, but I want to love you. I love you. I would like to express it physically. But I'm sleepy and my sleep is just as important.
So sleepy.
So
Another day is gone. Let me journal that.
one
You crazy, bro. Don't do
journal,
that.
I
That's
can't.
another show.
One of the
That's
things I
another
was thinking about while he was talking, just unmet needs. So perhaps as she's talking, a self-evaluation you can do is, how do I feel at work? How do I feel doing what I do? Like, do I feel fulfilled doing what I do? Because, you know, right now the letter is saying it as if the competition is coming from the other party. But perhaps she could be projecting because you don't feel met or satisfied at work. And I was just thinking, because as we were reading the letter, I was like, I really don't have anything to, like, I'm not in
Jealous.
competition, you know what I'm saying, with my husband. His wins are my wins. However, I can recall the frustration of being in the role that we have at work, and because he gets a different response than I do, I'm not in competition, but I am frustrated because technically we're supposed to be
The same.
equal. You know what I'm saying? But there are times where I have to say, and I need to pull you in because I'm not going to get the same response that you would. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, go. You are me. You are. And I'm like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
It should be that.
And I've started seeing it.
It's not that. But
Yeah.
so I'm saying for her, one of the things you might want to consider is evaluate yourself, because perhaps you're projecting, and it's not that the competition feeling is coming from the other party, but perhaps you feel it because maybe there are certain things that you have that are going unmet, and that's leaving you in a place where you're feeling that competitive drive, or almost like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was just a thought that I had.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think I've only felt not jealous, but felt some type of way because I feel like some of the people we interact with me because I come with the package of her. And she's saying that she's felt the same way. I'm like, well, shoot, I feel the same way. You know, I feel like some of your people, you know, they rock with me because of you, you know. And she said, well, I feel like I only get respect around here, like around the ministry and at church because of you. I'm like, no, that's not true. But then, you know, you get people that use terminologies like there was this one incident we had. I wasn't in town. And somebody used the terminology, what we're not going to do is, and it was a male that used that phrase with my wife, which is why, you know, you usually don't have spouses working together.
No, for sure.
Because like
it
it can go from professional to
for sure.
bro, you good? We need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Easy.
you understand what I'm not saying. Like, you said, like, say that one more time. What we're not going to do is, that's a term. That's your term of endearment.
Yeah.
Because would you say that to me? It's a trigger for me. So you said it to my wife when I wasn't there.
Wife.
It's like, you don't do that. So it's like, would he have said that? And it's a guy. Would he have said that to me? I don't think so. So now it's, that's a personal thing. I was like, okay, now we're going back and forth with, I got to say something, but it'll go back to why you don't really hire spouses together in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because it's easy to take certain things personal when somebody has a moment, right? And I like to trust that this person just had a moment and use those terms. But it's like when it comes to people treating her different than they treat me, people treating me different than they treat her, it's a real thing, Not that it brings jealousy, but it does bring, you feel some type of way because it's like, but why though? This is my spouse. This is my husband. This is my wife. We're a package.
So it's like and I think Brian alluded to it, or one of y'all alluded to, like, it's not the competition spirit or whatever.
Yeah.
Is subconscious because
for sure.
in an attempt to demand your place,
Respect.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a woman, you will respect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That attitude is what kind of pushes that spirit of competition, because it's like, I'm not competing with you. I want what I want. Like, I want to be respected. I want the respect that I deserve. So,
Yeah.
that's a thought. So in that case, I said I couldn't relate, but in that case, I can relate because I have felt that.
Wow.
And I have felt myself just kind of recluse. You know what I'm saying? Or fall back because it's just like
And that upsets
can't.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
When she does that, I'm like, what you doing? Because I know what she brings to the table. And I'm like, bro, what you doing?
Yeah.
Say something. I think confidence is a muscle.
For sure.
And it has to be exercised. And the more you recluse yourself, it's like skipping the gym. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like when those, what we're not going to do, that's an opportunity to grow. That's an opportunity. Let's get it in. Let's exercise this confidence muscle. And we handle it on the spot, right then and there. We don't have to be unprofessional. We don't have to take things personal. We can address this situation, and now who you are begins to express itself based off of, wait a minute, I'm Anthony's wife. I'm Constance's husband. We are the Adams. And that confidence begins to become expressive, because confident people, they don't seem to deal with a lot of the things that we're talking about because they're confident in who they are.
I guess it would depend on who they're engaging with, because we're talking about a relationship here, but perhaps you're not experiencing it with your spouse or your person, but you may experience competition with a sibling.
Yeah.
Or you may experience competition
for sure.
with
that's
I've seen parents who compete with their children. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it.
Wow.
Really?
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like parents who feel like they're trying to, because I am successful, but then I see my child, and you're supposed to be proud, but then it's like, are you jealous of me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you competing with me? Like, no, you're great in your own.
all the time.
We call it despair. Yeah. Once they get to a certain age and certain things that they had imagined they would be at certain places, if they hadn't reached that, despair begins to set in, because you start feeling like you got more years behind you than you have ahead of you. So it's like, is it over for me? And that comes from, that's when the child has to go, I was supposed to go further, faster.
Right. Like this is your success, and
this
I think
is your success.
That's the thing, especially with your loved ones. Like, just really being able to appreciate and enjoy your loved one's success as your own. Like,
Yeah.
we share success. When y'all win, like, I'm legit excited because y'all win is my win. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
we're constantly trying to do whatever we can to help y'all win, because if you guys succeed, then we feel like that's a
But
a
what
success
keeps
for
them from
us.
seeing that? What keeps a parent from seeing that with their child, from being able to see your child's win as your win? What stops that?
I would just say self-centeredness.
So selfishness.
So, and I wouldn't even say from a place of being, what's the word? I'm not saying from a place that's, what's the word when you, I'm trying to say it in a way of, I don't really feel, that's tough. Vindictive, is that the word? But it's just more of a place of your reflection of what I should have accomplished.
Yeah.
Like,
I see
my
what you're saying.
success can be a mirror
Yeah.
to your failure.
Yeah.
And when my success is a mirror to your failure,
Unfulfilledness.
I'm
word for that.
literally showing you, you're looking at me now, and even though you don't have a dislike or a hate towards me, there's a resentment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I could have.
Yeah.
I should have. But
And when you don't address that, that's
that's-
when it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
becomes more of a
It
that
feels competitive.
competitive
That's the
jealousy.
competition.
Yes.
That's a
It's-
whole
it's-
nother show, because it's like, from our standpoint, it's like, you brought me here. That was enough. But from their standpoint, that's all I did.
Yeah.
And we're like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you
That's
did.
right. Like,
Look at where I am, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was supposed to do more.
yeah. Yeah.
You have kids. You're
Wow.
doing more. It was a different
Same
time.
here, yeah.
We have more access to things now.
That's a lot.
You know, and that's a real show, man.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
probably
We-
need to get
we
our
can talk
parents
about
on
that.
this show.
We
Yeah.
can talk about that.
Yeah,
We can
for
talk
sure.
about that.
Well,
All right, hey y'all. Hey man. Anything else that y'all just want to leave? I guess I would say, like we had already said, man, just opening up and having those conversations.
For sure.
Establishing mutual goals,
Yeah.
establishing family values,
Yeah.
and get on one accord. But them conversations need to have to
Them
happen.
conversations
The
need to
communication
happen.
has to be there.
And you have to start with your foundation. What are you standing on? How do you align yourself, and what are you aligning yourself with? Because that matters. Because if you ever feel like you guys are off, what brings you back to your center, and what is your center?
that part.
That helps, because if you sit down and have a conversation, it's like, what are we conversing about?
Yeah.
We're going to come to what conclusion to align us to what point, built off what foundation. I hope that makes sense, but
Yeah.
That makes
I would say that.
really good sense. And just based off of what you just said, listen, the devil don't come through the front door. He's going to come through the cracks in your foundation. So you got to make sure that you have your marriage built on a firm foundation of God, love, and it's not whether I can live with you, but can I not live without you? If that's your foundation, you should be good, but always monitor it, because sometimes when cement settles, cracks could come or appear. And you got to make sure that you're maintaining, doing the proper maintenance on your marriage. Do the proper maintenance on the foundation of your marriage.
And last thing I would say is to evaluate self too,
Yeah.
to ensure that you're not projecting, and that we don't become guilt pointers instead of accepting accountability. Fault finders. Instead of accepting accountability for where you may be.
Yeah.
So I would evaluate self as well.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. This has been yet another episode
Another
of
episode.
FBC.
FBC.
We pray that you guys got something from this. And until next time, make sure you follow the journey, join the family.
Join the family.
And we'll see you soon.
Yes.
Peace.